Hi guys, I want to talk to you about making goals today. And making goals is something that we do as a reader, and it helps us to become a better reader. Today we're going to talk about how to create a goal that stretches me as a reader. And so I wanted to just talk about goals in general to start with. And a goal is really just something that you want to do, that you make a plan to do. If you don't really make a plan to do it, if you don't write it down, if you don't have a good reason for it, then it's probably not going to happen. So I want to make sure that when we are reading that we really have a plan for those goals today. So I did this in real life too. This isn't just for reading, real life making goals. I set a goal for myself and I wanted to run a 5K. So for the past couple of months, I have been starting to train. Now, what would happen if I said, I want to run a 5K? And then I sat on my couch every single night and I ate some chips, had some popcorn, drank a soda, made sure I got some M&Ms. Would I be running my 5K? No, I probably wouldn't, because I'm not actually working on my goal and I didn't do anything about my goal. And so that's the same thing with real life and with reading as well. If you have a goal for yourself as a reader and you want to get better as a reader, which you should, we want you to learn, we want you to grow as a reader and to challenge yourself, then you have got to do something about that goal. So when we talk about making these goals that stretch you as a reader, we really want you to make sure that you write it down and that you have a purpose for your goal. You have a reason why you're going to do that. And so one goal that I have for myself as a reader is, and this might sound funny coming from a grown-up, but I really want to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I really want to read it in Spanish because I'm always trying to get better at Spanish, and I think if I could read Diary of a Wimpy Kid in Spanish, it has a lot of pictures, it could help me understand, and it probably wouldn't be quite as challenging as I think it might be. So that's a specific book I want to read. I have a reason for it, so I'm going to go ahead and write it down. So that's my goal for myself as a reader. I want to read that book by the time that the school year is over. I want to be able to read that and say that I finished it and that I understood it, and it will help me to grow. I have a reason for it. I've written it down. That's going to stretch me as a reader for sure. You just need to think about, what do you want to accomplish as a reader? Do you want to read a certain number of books? Do you maybe want to read a certain level of books? Do you want to read a specific type of genre of books? So I'm going to go ahead and jot down some of the different goals that you could set for yourself as a reader, just to give you some examples. So here are some examples that I have of goals that you could set for yourself as a reader. Notice they're not all number goals for a number of books that you read or number of minutes that you're going to read. There are a lot of different kinds of goals that you can have for yourself as a reader. The point is that you are pushing yourself to be better, and that's probably going to look different for you than it does for someone else. So I shared with you my first goal. My second goal might be something like, I want to read 50 books this year. That is a number of books, and it's okay to set a goal like that. It's also okay to say, I want to read for 30 minutes every day. Maybe you're the kind of person that just really struggles to focus when you're reading, and you can go back to that video where we talked about some strategies to create a place for yourself where you can focus and think as a reader. We kind of talked about finding a place that's quiet, or maybe putting on some soft music without any words on it. Without any more words in the songs, and that might be helpful for you to help give you that stamina that you need as a reader. When we say stamina, we're talking about how long you can read for. The longer that you can read for, the stronger you are as a reader. So maybe you have a goal like read for 30 minutes every day. Or maybe you might want to say, hey, I'm going to read more challenging books this year. I always pick those books that when I think about that 5-finger rule, I always pick books that I have like 0 fingers up, or maybe just 1 finger up on each page. And there aren't a lot of words that I don't know, and I just go the easy route. You know what? This year I'm going to challenge myself by picking more difficult books to read. And so if you do that, you've got 4 or 5 fingers up for words that you might not know on 1 page, and you're going to have to be using your reading skills, context clues, making inferences, maybe using a dictionary to look up some information. So maybe you read more challenging books. You might have a series that you love. A lot of people like the I Survive series. I like that too because it's kind of like a nonfiction and fiction together, because it's based on that true thing that happened and that event, and it's really interesting. So maybe you want to read that whole series this year. That could be a great thing. Or you might want to try a different genre. Here I have the genre of biographies, and it says read 10 biographies this year. Maybe last year you found a biography that you just loved. It could be one like Who Was, from those series, Who Was or What Was. That could be a biography. Maybe you loved that and you just want to read a lot more of those this year, and you just want to keep trying to find biographies that you love. Whatever it is, these are just examples of some goals that you can set for yourself for a reader. What we want to make sure that you are doing is that you are creating those goals that stretch you and that challenge you as a reader. You create those for yourself. That is not something that I'm going to tell you or one of your teachers is going to tell you to do, or exactly what goal you should have. You just need to think about, okay, what do I need to do? What's that thing that I always don't want to do when I'm reading? That's probably where your goal is going to be. For me, when I'm reading, I always just don't want to make time for it. There's always a lot of other things I need to do. I've got 2 kids at home. I got to take care of them. I got to do the dishes. I got to do all the house stuff, pick the vegetables in my garden. I have a lot of things I need to do, and it's hard for me to make time as a reader. So I might make a goal for myself that says, to stretch myself as a reader, I'm going to make time for 15 minutes every day. And I might just start there, and I might try to grow from there to stretch me as a reader. Whatever it is that you're probably avoiding as a reader is probably that goal that you need to make that stretches you as a reader. So think about that, and this is what we're going to be practicing today, is making some goals that stretch us as readers.